I can't say it all again. Oh, some say it's all a game, but I don't find. No, I don't find this joke's so funny no more. You can't be on your own, so you'll find another way, so you don't have to change.
I'm not sure if we'd be friends if we were to start again, but I don't find that it's so easy to lie, so I guess I'll stay.
Stay. Turn me upside down,
and I don't mind. Oh, I don't mind. With the live a lonely life,
but circumstances ain't quite right,
so I won't fight. It's just too easy to lie, so I guess I'll stay. You say we'll go away and always come back with a different view once you've had a drink or two. And I don't mind.
I don't mind. It's just you're taking your time. I don't know if it's wrong, but you make me feel right,
so guess I'll stay tonight.
I know we gotta be strong, but we're losing the light,
so guess I'll stay.
Hey, there it is. Welcome to the show. You, so, I mean, there's going to be a moment there, which if anyone's watching on the VOD or anything, where I just appeared on screen and I shit my pants, because normally when we have a song playing, you and I can just do whatever, and you pull my camera up.
Well, I saw in the little circle that I can see, I saw a little green thing, and I hovered over it, and then it comes up with like a little screen, and I saw a plane, and I was like, I want to see the big plane. I didn't realise when I hit maximum, maximize, I didn't realise it was going to bring the screen up for everyone.
And I'd even put the plane down, B, and I was playing with this little dog. So at the time, I was over here. It was very scary. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Anyway, that was great. Who was that?
Yeah, that was Millie and Bertie.
Millie and Bertie.
Featured on. I think they were down as they were nominated for Artist of the Year last year from the podcast.
Yeah,
all
no,
the podcast
I remember.
submissions.
I remember. It's a really good song, isn't it?
It's very complete. It's it's 4 minutes, which is quite long for a song, but even being really aware of how long the song is, the 4th minute, everything's still building, and it's just very, very well written.
Yeah. I've been watching the Olympics. That's pretty much what I've been doing.
Well, so
I'm desperate for the season to start, but I need some football, and the next best thing at the moment is the Olympics.
I wondered what you meant when you said the season to start.
Football.
Thought maybe you meant hunting or I don't know.
But no, it was actually quite annoying. Because all I really wanted to watch was the golf today.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, and they only cut in right at the end, didn't they?
It's so annoying, right? Because like they teased a little bit of it right at the start of the show, right? So we started watching golf, and I was like, okay, cool. And then they cut away, right, to like a bike race, and I was like, oh, maybe I can like press the red button, and it's like on like iPlay Extra or whatever. It's not, right?
Yeah.
So then I sat there and watched a bit of the bike race, some gymnastics. It looked like we were going to win a medal, like a gold in that, right? Because we had two dudes who did like phenomenal in the vault. But then like normally happens, like an Asian guy followed them and did even better.
Was he Chinese?
No.
Oh.
No, I can't actually remember. But anyway,
Probably Chinese, isn't it, with that?
but then they brought the golf back, right?
Yeah.
Briefly, and they were like, oh, if you want to carry on watching the golf, then you can watch it on iPlayer Extra. Just press your red button. And I was like, okay, cool. And then you go over to iPlayer Extra and you watch the golf. And then 20 minutes later, they're like, okay, and we're dropping the golf here. And we're going, if you want to watch the golf, you got to go back to BBC One. And I'm like, well, I'm going all the way around the bloody BBC trying to watch the golf.
That's how they get you. They're like, we had 500 million viewers on it, but it's just the same people going around in this weird little BBC iPlayer circle.
It's crazy. And it was like, I don't know why I can't. Surely in the year 2024, you should be able to watch every event.
I agree.
I'm sure that used to be how it was back in the day, to the point where like you would be watching a broadcast where nothing is happening. It's a static camera in a stadium because it's like there's like a 20-minute gap now for like the next event, and you're just watching a fucking static camera in the stadium. Give me that. Let me pick an event and I'll watch it.
Agreed.
It's so frustrating watching the Olympics.
So this year has been the worst. We've established that, right? But that actually ties in. Apparently, in 2015, I think the IOC or whoever owns the Olympics, like I think the BBC said it was too expensive to rebuy the rights to stream everything live.
Right.
So BBC's always had the rights to just be like, whatever you want to watch, just watch it on the iPlayer. They've now changed, and in 2015 they said that they were like, we have to be sensible of how we spend taxpayer money, which we can actually loop back into something else that happened this week, but never mind.
Let's not talk about that.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah. So they didn't redo the rights.
Hugh Schmedwoods.
Wait, no, yeah. Is that? Yeah, that is his name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool dude. So not a cool dude at all. But my point was that they then lost the rights. So since 2015, it's been, I guess, Discovery Plus have it at the moment. So if you want to watch every single event, you need Discovery Plus, which no one has that.
All over the place. Yeah, because that was it. I forgot. Yeah, and I clicked on something and it was like, oh, if you want to watch this, you've got to sign up with Amazon. And it's like, I'm not signing up for something just for this.
Can I complain about something else, though, with this? And it does tie in. I have this issue. All of the broadcasts are terrible, right? And what I mean by that is, with the Olympics, you have thousands and thousands of things happening. Thousands of athletes, hundreds of events, right? So if I flick on to iPlayer and I'm watching something, and it's like, oh, you're now watching this event you've never ever heard of in your life. You're now watching the team eventing, and there's like people on horses, which, to be fair, that shit was dope as hell. But what I need from the graphics is to tell me everything I need to consume the media, right? Is it the final? If the person wins, do they get gold? But instead, it tells you nothing at any point. I was looking yesterday, and on the Olympics site, it looked like there were only 3 rounds of golf. And the only reason I knew there was a 4th was because I could check the dates of when it's running. It's all such a mess. But what it means is I go on to I'll be like, okay, fucking fine. I'll watch the beach volleyball, right? And I'll click on beach volleyball, and then it's like Great Britain versus Sudan or whatever the game is, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what this is. Is it the semi-final for whatever? I'll Google it, and the game's already happened, and it's like, yeah, they lost, and I'm like, oh fuck, great. So now this is pointless anyway. It is an absolute shambles.
Yeah. And then more than that, like there's just a lot of controversy that's happening all over the gaff. Like I just like earlier
You need to cover some of it.
The shooting.
I watched it live.
I watched it live. Unbelievable. But how is video replays not a thing at the Olympics?
So
this is the pinnacle of sport.
Here's the thing. So anyone who joins live or watches after the fact, this is a music podcast. We're going to listen to music, right? We will get there. But the Olympics are happening. It's a lot's going on. But yeah, no, I was watching it, and if people didn't see, it went down to like a shootout, right, in skeet. Yeah. So skeet, bruh. And they shoot it. The British person hit both discs, right? But they called one of them as missed. And she's like, no, I hit both. And they said on the commentary, they were like, actually, a VAR system for this sport does exist. But for some reason, it's not at this Olympics.
Incredible. I just don't understand. I don't understand.
And the issue you have is it's twofold, right? One is Team GB should have got a gold, but the other is now
debatable because obviously we don't know what they could have gone on and she could have lost anyway. But the fact is that she was unfairly dismissed from that shootout.
But it also lessens the other person's gold.
Yeah,
someone did win a gold, but they won a gold after someone hit both of the plates.
Yeah,
the old plate hates. So there's that one. Obviously, there was the boxing thing, but that's more complicated than I think it let on initially.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people thought it was a man who had transitioned to a woman, and that was the uproar was that shouldn't have happened. And now it's come out that actually it is a woman. She just, I think, was born with a few defects that means that she has quite high testosterone.
Well, I think there's XY chromosomes present, I think is what I've read.
Fair enough.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, what do you do? Because there is like a 0.0000001% of people that are born both, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So and I think from my understanding, this is that's as close as what this is.
Like that seemed like
it's a bit of a weird situation, and you can talk about whether that's fair. Because obviously it kind of isn't, is it? But then it kind of is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because, and I saw comparisons, and I'm still I actually saw comparisons minutes before we went live, so I haven't processed it properly, of people being like, well, Michael Phelps, for example, is a phenomenal swimmer because of his natural prowess. Obviously, years and years and years of practice too, but he's taller than the average swimmer. He has this ridiculous arm span, so his actual wingspan is like 3 inches longer than the next swimmer, whatever. So he's got all of these things that have helped him do that, right?
Yeah, but they all exist within a spectrum of man.
Sure.
Does that make sense? Like you can be up and down on the spectrum of like strong and weak and fast and slow or whatever, like tall or small, but you're on that same spectrum as every other male. Yeah. And then, but I think the point is that like this athlete, she exists on like a slightly different spectrum.
Maybe.
And that I think that's the only argument, but it's not as cut and dry as like the trans sort of.
It's complicated
that like we sort of regularly see.
Yeah, it's definitely more complicated than layout. So I don't really feel strongly either way. A part of me thought that like 40 seconds into a fight, a boxer being like crying because she got punched in the face.
Yeah, 2 hits.
I don't know. I'm like, you weren't cut out to be a boxer then, because here's the thing about boxing: you do get punched in the face, and some people will punch you in the face really hard, and that's the beauty of it. Like, can you imagine? Like, I don't know who's one of the trendy boxers at the moment. Logan Paul, Jake Paul, RuPaul.
Are we classing these people as boxers?
Okay, Tyson Fury, right? He goes into the middle of the ring. Usyk hits him with a jab, and he just starts crying. He's like, "He hit me too hard. That was way too hard." It's like, what are you on about? This is boxing.
I can't really talk because I've been hit once in my life, and I was out.
Yeah, they
Barco.
followed you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That'll happen. Yeah, so I don't know. Lots of happening with the Olympics. It's all terrible. It's just an awful Olympics. I'm getting really frustrated.
Like I am still getting caught up in the spectacle of people winning medals. Do you know what I mean? Like there have been moments where I'm like borderline teary-eyed because an athlete that isn't even British has won a medal, and it's just because you can like. My favorite thing ever is you can see that moment of I've spent 4+ years dedicated to this one moment.
Hundy.
Do you know what I mean? And there's something about that always makes me happy. Even if it's I don't know, like a Uzbekistan like sprinter.
Especially.
Finishes. Yeah.
Especially.
Well, it's just like the 100-meter final women's event was just won by a lady from St. Lucia.
Yeah, St. Lucius, Malfoy.
Yeah, yeah, St. Lucius Malfoy. St. Lucia, their first ever medal in the Olympics, and it's like it's hard not to see that and be like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they cut to the St. Lucia little square, had the TV out, and all of these people just going mental. It's the greatest thing.
Their entire population's there.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That was cool. We had, obviously, I mentioned the eventing. I was watching the horses. I don't know if you watched this.
It's a very eventing. Do you mean
it's
like
called eventing?
I thought it was equestrian, wasn't it?
Equestrian is horse stuff, right? And in equestrian, you have. I mean, hopefully my wife isn't watching this. I'm sure she's not. She's looking after the kids upstairs. But I'm going to get this all wrong. You have cross country, which is like run far
go across
quickly.
The country.
Yeah, yeah. They have to do all of France. You have dressage, which is like gay horses, right?
To be fair, I find that one hard to watch as well, and because I saw some of it and I didn't realize how much the horses were dribbling, and it kind of
why?
I don't know.
I wonder if that's like a pro or a con in the scorecards that they'll dribble.
Well, that's what I mean. I was like, it looks good and all, but clean yourself up for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you have that much control over your legs, but you can't control your bloody tongue.
you dribbly bastard.
So you have that, and then you have, I'm sure there are others, but the eventing. And the eventing was actually really cool.
What's the eventing?
Because it was like, you have like 78 seconds to get round a course of jumps, right? Every time you knock one over, if you knock a jump over, it was a 4-second
Okay, I know
penalty.
what that is then. I just didn't know it was called the eventing.
Mate, I was watching it and it was really good. It was so exciting. You'd be watching and then like Netherlands knock one over and you're like, yeah. And then we obviously absolutely crushed it. So that was good. Snoop Dogg was there.
Right.
Did you see that?
What, at the eventing?
Yeah.
No, I only saw highlights.
Snoop Dogg, I don't know how that didn't make it, to be honest. Snoop Dogg is just loving his life, right? He's at the Olympics. He featured briefly in the opening ceremony. You know, that we can't hold that against him. But he's now just going around to all of the events. And in the eventing, he was dressed in full horse rider gear. He had like a helmet and everything in the crowd. It was brilliant.
That is
you have
insane.
to try and pull it up because it was just delightful. He was having a great time. I think he was with Martha Stewart, American celebrity cook, baker, chef, whatever. Because they're friends now, aren't they? I don't know if you knew that about Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart.
I feel like Snoop Dogg is just one of those people that is friends just with everyone, right?
Well, Martha Stewart, she got arrested and she did time. And then when she came out, she did a like Comedy Central roast. Yeah, here you go. But it's important. Yeah. I was going to say, it's important to say, he did all of these photos and stuff, but he was in the crowd dressed as this as well. So he did a photo shoot and all of this. But then he just kept it on and he was just going crazy in the crowd. It was really awesome.
That is good stuff right there. Who the hell doesn't like a bit of Snoop Dogg? Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, say what you want about the man. He knows how to have fun. He's just living his best life. Yeah, it's cool. Good stuff.
Should we interlude with a song?
Let's interlude. Here's an interlude. Interluding. It's interloading.
You put up your walls, I don't mean to pry. I don't mean to pry, I don't mean to. Why take off the roof? It's raining inside. It's raining inside, it's pouring in. I'm better with thoughts and not much with words. I'm not good with words, I'm not good with. Take a chance with your heart, but right from the start. Why'd you tell me that you don't get lonely? You're so cold, but your heart tastes so sweet. Why'd you tell me that you don't get lonely? You're so cold, but your heart tastes so sweet. Open up your whole world, 'cause I want to know. I want to know, I want to know. Only you got the key to set yourself free. Set yourself free, set yourself. Asking, are you okay? But why won't you just say? Won't you just say? Won't you tell me? Keep it all on your chest with the weight of your stress. Why'd you tell me that you don't get lonely? You're so cold, but your heart tastes so sweet. Why'd you tell me that you don't get lonely?
Absolutely love it. Great stuff.
That's Eden Sam with. I don't actually know what the song's called.
Something about being lonely.
Yeah, it's. I should have just known that off the top of my cuff.
It was just on the screen.
You don't get lonely. You don't get.
There
lonely.
we go.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? The whole time it was on the screen. Little overlays that I made. Yeah, great song.
We're bad.
Yeah, it's not great. We're not professionals, so there we go. I don't know what you want from us, but you can buy a t-shirt. And every time you do, we're both technically professionals for like a small period of time. Yeah. Did you have any news?
I've got a little bit of news.
This is going to have the wrong ticker on it now. Because we're not complaining about the Olympics and or the French, are we?
Quickly change it.
What sort of news? Is it breaking or do you want general sort of light-hearted news?
A bit of both.
Okay. There we go.
Sweet. First bit of news, right?
Hmm.
Liam Gallagher's son, right, has hinted that his dad is keen for a reunion to happen. Now, that could mean two things. It could mean either Liam Gallagher wants a reunion to happen, or his son
He's a liar.
is hard up for a bit of cash.
Yeah, and he got £500 from the Daily Express or something. Yeah, it feels like it's contrary to anything else they've ever said. I would go as far as saying that.
Well, I think it pops up like every couple of years, right? There's always it kind of resurfaces about an Oasis reunion, and and I think a while ago it was like a big thing every time it popped up. But do you think now? Do you think they've kind of missed the window?
100%. I think they've missed the boat completely.
Like
They
even
are
if
absolutely.
even if they wanted to do it, I just feel like the buzz and the hype around Oasis getting back together is kind of it's done. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't.
The only thing they'd have for them is if they came out and said, "We're going to do one show. We're going to do one show, right? Wherever it is." They would sell all of the tickets to it because people would fly out to it. That it would, if they did it, I don't even know, like 5-10 years ago, they could tour the world and it would have been one of the biggest tours ever. Right?
Okay, yeah, no, I agree.
But they have. I agree that they've missed the boat for sure. No one cares as much as they did now.
No, and I'm saying that as a massive Oasis fan, like
Yeah.
huge Oasis fan. But even I'm like, I can feel that they've missed that sort of hype train. But here's a follow-up question: if they were to do one gig and they announce we're coming back and we're only playing one gig, this is the only chance for you to see Oasis. Do you think that would be bigger than a Taylor Swift concert? But on the premise that it is just one gig. Obviously, Taylor Swift does it every fucking night.
The question is, where would they do it? Because obviously, at the moment, Taylor Swift will sell out literally any stadium, right? So that's the issue, is that it's just a capacity thing. They could sell out a stadium without a doubt. Do they do like a festival? Do they do it outside at Hyde Park or something? Or somewhere where they could have 100,000 people there? You know what I mean? Absolutely they could do that. Because ultimately they are still really like the biggest band that's happened in a long old time, right? Discounting like your One Direction, something like that. They're not rock bands, but that would be what they'd need to do. That's the only way you could beat that. But we said that about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift could go into a field and be like, "Give me £800 and stand in your own piss, and I'll play for 4 hours," and everyone would go.
True. Interesting though. It's interesting. I just don't see it happening though.
Who is Liam Gallagher's son? Is it Conor Gallagher?
I
don't know.
I can confirm it is not Conor Gallagher.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get his name. I don't actually know. The article is not immediately telling me what his name is.
It feels like a bit of a reach, doesn't it?
Gene
Gallagher.
Gene Gallagher.
Have we fact checked that as well? And this isn't just someone who's insane.
Oh no, this is from The Independent.
That doesn't help me that much, but okay, cool. Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't our website.
No, it's not. It's not a crackpot. It's from The Independent. There he is. There.
Okay, nice.
That's him.
Yeah, I see the resemblance. Okay, cool. Should we do an article and we'll just have someone like absolutely mental confirm that Oasis are getting back together?
Yeah.
Like our postman's auntie's sister's
It's
kids.
2024, B. You don't need any evidence or proof nowadays. You just have to write it and put it out there.
It's true. It's true. As long as someone on TikTok covers it for a little bit, we'll be fine. We'll be laughing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
More news.
Next little topic. We've spoken recently about how there seems to be a trend of like we're sort of like we're in this circle of what's trendy and what's cool, and we're like forever just going round and round. And like we've spoken about how like CDs are on the up and vinyls are on the up, and even a couple of weeks ago we were talking about like cassettes. People are buying like cassettes now, hunting down cassettes.
Yeah,
crazy. So on that same trend, there is a record number of people listening to the radio, right? And when I say record number of people, it's unbelievable because I always just thought radio is like just a dying format, right? Who the hell listens to the radio? Well, I'll tell you, 50 million people are listening to the radio in the UK.
15 or 50?
50 million people.
That's like a third of the population.
Are you insane? The population is like 65 million. 69 to 67 million.
Why did I think we were pushing like 100 million?
Nah. It's where are these people listening to the radio? It's insane.
I do wonder though, how do you calculate it? Do you know what I mean? How do you calculate that?
Like they have like independent, like individual listeners.
Devices? Are you telling me devices and
Well,
not
just like it's the same
speakers?
as TV. What do you mean? You think they're counting the speakers individually?
No, but think if you have a room full of people,
It's like 5% of them are listening on surround sound. That's five. That's 5 listeners.
they're like, we're unsure if this is 1 listener or 5.1 listeners. No. What I meant is if a hospital is playing radio, right, is that thousands of people listening to the radio?
That's
or is
not
that
how
just
that
a
works, though.
That's what I'm saying. As I'm
No,
asking.
individual device. Well, 'cause they can't confidently go. Oh, that's Barbara. She always listens with her auntie Susie.
Yeah, she's carpooling at the moment.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Okay,
Fucking devices.
50 million devices.
15 million.
So what you're telling me is it would be accurate to say almost everybody in the UK is
That's
listening to the
what I
radio
mean.
right now.
And it's just insane because I feel like I don't know anyone that listens to the radio apart from they all must be listening to the radio.
I can't comprehend it. B. This is one of those. It's like those number things where there's more combinations of a deck of cards than there are atoms on Earth, and you just can't comprehend it. I can't comprehend the radio thing. That's true though. What I just said.
And then on that, right?
Okay, skip.
On the same article,
Yeah.
I'm talking about how there are 12 million people listening to podcasts every week.
Okay.
Right. So that means there's probably about 55 million people making them.
True. That is true. It's good stuff. Wait. What's the maths there? So 50 million people are listening to the radio.
Yeah.
12 million people are listening to podcasts in the UK.
Yeah.
Is this in the UK? Both in the UK?
Yeah. Both in the UK.
So we're at 62 million people. How many people aren't listening to anything?
There's about 5 million people that are just looking at a wall.
Just living their lives. What's going on? They haven't got a clue.
No, I guess there's 5 million people listening. But then does that mean no one streams music?
I think it's safe to say there's probably a bit of a crossover there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
because this isn't right now. Do you know what I mean? We're not saying that 62 million people in the world.
It must just be certain radio shows that people are into, like like Morning on BBC or something. Do you know what I mean?
And there's just loads of people listening to it.
I can't believe that there's 50 million people listening to the radio every week.
Yeah, I completely agree. That
It's
doesn't
insane.
make sense to me. That many people. I mean, in the car, it is handy. If I don't have internet, I put the radio on. That is literally it. Or if there's sports and I'm missing it and I'm driving, I put the radio on. Even though I can't comprehend sports over the radio, I can't do it.
Anyway,
It never makes sense to me. Right.
I just thought mental. In other news, bit sad news. Aerosmith have announced that they're retiring from touring. They will no longer be touring anymore. Steven Tyler has had a vocal injury that they think he's not going to be able to fully recover from it. But in fairness, it's like how old is?
I was going to say
he's in his 70s, I think now. So I think that's pretty good going. But yeah, go ahead.
No, that's good news. I keep getting a video of someone. I can't remember who. An old artist where it'll be them playing guitar and they're just clearly not playing the guitar, or there's a clip where they are playing the guitar and it's just it's like
this is what I was trying to show you on TikTok.
Oh, was this the one that you had?
It's like, yeah, so like you remember like the dude from the Goonies.
Yeah.
Corey Feldman, his name is. I didn't realize he's a bloody music sensation. I say that.
Well, he is a sensation for
big
sure.
Old pinch of salt.
Yeah.
He's like the worst person I've ever seen like live.
It's really bad.
He's like, he doesn't play the guitar. He pretends to play the guitar.
And he's making little sounds, isn't he? So he'll be like, but his guitar's just absolute noise. It's really good. It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
The other one I saw as well that came back on that ilk was it Frank Valli? He's still touring, and it's really sad. because he just stands there, holds the mic like this, and it's clearly just a speaker is playing his music, and he isn't even attempting to mime. He looks like the alien from the game Destroy All Humans.
That is brutal. What do you think is worse though? Do you think it's worse going to see him or going to see like one of those weird bloody like anime bands?
What, where they don't exist?
Yeah, they're not even real.
It's a great question though, because so one, you're watching a former musician who is just pretending to keep making money, and the other is that you're watching like a projection or something, and you're listening to speakers. Sometimes I know they do have a band that play live, but the vocals is just a recording,
That's
right?
the craziest concept as well. Can you imagine being like
I know.
the lead guitarist in a band, and people are like, "Oh, what band?" Like, who
And it's
playing for?
Hatsune Miku. Yeah. She's a bit of a diva. Do you know what I mean?
Takes her fucking ages to do a bloody sound test.
Yeah, she doesn't show up. I don't know. It's a really good point, though. Is it the same thing? It basically is. At least there's legacy. At least there is an artist there. But for me, I'm always like, sometimes you just have to give up. And he's at that point. Paul McCartney's at that point. I don't know. You got any more news?
Oh yeah, mate. I've got a little bit. There's another. This one's a bit crazy, right? I'll show you a clip, right? Because it is a bit insane.
It's not from the Olympics, is it?
Oh hell no.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Okay. Watch this. Right.
Okay.
Are you watching?
Yep.
Okay, this is Kesha, right, performing at Lollapalooza, and she's got this prop knife. I mean, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Nice little prop knife with the performance. What if I told you that before she went on stage, they couldn't find the prop knife, and they gave her a real knife?
Really? What did she do with the knife?
That was a real. Well, she didn't know it was a real knife. She thought it was a prop knife. They didn't tell her it was a real knife. They lost the prop knife, and then someone gave her a real knife. They didn't tell her it was a real knife, and then she's like, just like loosey goosey waving a knife around on stage.
I love the thought, right? In a real small window of time, I love the thought that someone was like, just give her the knife. She's just doing a little dance. It's fine. And then they had to watch her flailing it around, right? And they're just like, what is the outcome of this going to be? Did she ever throw the prop knife into the crowd?
No. Thankfully, she didn't throw the prop knife, and she kept hold of the prop knife. But it's so bad because she could have thrown the prop knife. It's a prop knife.
And this would have been Alec Baldwin all over again, wouldn't
Yes, this is what I mean. It's insane. And it's like, but then even if she didn't throw the knife intentionally, she could have easily accidentally let go of the knife there. She was flailing it around like nobody's business.
Cut herself, held it from the knife side. There's a lot that could go wrong.
It's insane. I don't know how stupid you have to be as like a stage manager or whoever it was that allowed that knife to go on stage. How much of a moron do you have to be? Like that's a sackable offense, like gross misconduct. You're gone.
All I know is Kesha, right? It's a very different thing. But can you imagine a band turning up, right, to a gig? Let's say it's an okay gig, but it's not a huge gig. It's in like a venue, and they're like, yep, this is Barbara. She's our prop person. You'd be like, what the fuck do you mean prop person? Like amps? Do you mean amps and guitars? No, just like our little knives and things like that. I don't know. It's good fun.
Yeah, man.
It's good fun.
Just good fun. Good fun.
Just grab a knife.
Could have killed someone.
Kids, if you want to put a good show on, just grab a knife and get dancing. That's what I say.
No, and then finally, I just wanted to talk about. It's a bit of a nothing story. I don't really care about it. I mean, you're a douchebag if you do it. But Justin Timberlake has had his license suspended, his driving license suspended for drink driving.
Right.
Which is obviously a douchebag thing that I do. Just don't drink drive. You're a dickhead.
Yeah,
right?
Agreed.
But the guy's a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
Like millions and millions. How does he not have a driver?
Would you want a driver all of the time, though?
100%. And even if
they live with you,
even if it's not 100%, no, but it would just be local. It'd be someone local that at the drop of a hat you can call and go, I need a ride, right? And I've looked into it, right? on average, this is like in the UK. If
Oh,
you
God.
want to hire a chauffeur driver who is at your beck and call 24/7,
Yeah, I do.
right? Depending on experience levels, it will cost you about 40,000 a year, as in his salary.
Hmm.
That's
I mean,
nothing.
I
It's
can't afford it.
nothing. Yeah, I know we can't afford it, but if you're a millionaire, surely you just have a couple of them.
That's true. Yeah.
You'd have a couple. You'd have spend £100,000 a year, right? And just have a couple of drivers that at your beck and call, you can be like, I am wasted. I need a ride.
Okay. Yeah. I see the
I
appeal.
need a lift. I just don't understand. I don't understand how these millionaires keep getting caught drink driving.
You
Like,
don't want to
why?
just pop to the shops though.
Yeah, but when you're popping to the shops, you're not going to be drunk out your ass, are you?
No. I hate going to the shops, but I'm not gonna lie. Also, if I had a driver, I would absolutely be drunk going to the shops. It'd be the only reason I'd go.
Mate, if I was Justin Timberlake, I would have a
Big if.
fucking helicopter pilot on standby so
That's
that
true.
if I was drunk somewhere, I could be like, I need a pickup.
But this is
And
why
then
Justin
the
Timberlake has.
helicopter just floats down and picks me up.
This is why Justin Timberlake has hundreds of millions of pounds, because he doesn't just go, I'm just going to have an employee, 2 drivers, right? You started with 2.
80 grand.
A helicopter.
80
Okay, yeah, but how much
grand
for
a year.
how
80
much for
grand
the
a year. They
retainer
can
on
be
the
on
helicopter?
They can be on rotation. They can be like, okay, 1 week you have to be available 24/7 hours a day, right? 24/7 hours a day.
How many hours is that? That's so many hours.
24 hours, 7 days a week, you have to be available. And then you get the next week off because the other chap will take over and he'll do it. And you do 1 week on, 1 week off. But jobs are good. Un.
Yeah, they could
80
just work.
grand, 80
just-
grand a year. That's nothing. He makes that from like 1 gig.
Just quickly, what I would probably do is they could just work 5 days a week and cover each. Oh, I guess there's too much overlap though, isn't it? You could probably rotor it that they don't have to do a full week of being at your beck and call, and then
Okay. You're Justin Timberlake. Hire free.
Okay, so we're at 3 drivers, a pilot.
Fucking hell, if I'm Justin Timberlake, I'm gonna have the entire fucking like Formula One bloody like circus following me around.
That's insane.
So I've got
That's
everything
so
with
funny.
me. Jesus Christ, I'd have spare everything.
Fair.
Like just someone just following me with a spare everything.
Yeah, I do think about that a lot. Of the thought of if you were really, really rich, and you break something, and you can just replace it in a heartbeat.
I'd have people
Do you know what I mean?
following me, right? And they're responsible for one of my items, right? So like I'd have a guy that just carries my wallet.
No wonder you have
And I'd
to
have
employ
another
so
guy
many
that
drivers.
yeah. Oh yeah, well they've all got to get around with me.
Their boots are full. As well,
I'm just
full of
saying,
stuff.
in a world where you're Justin Timberlake and you've got like fucking 100 million in the bank, how the
But-
fuck you getting caught drink driving?
It's fair enough. He could have called an Uber. I think that the actual response.
Forget about the bloody fleet of drivers.
Yeah, he could have
Just
used
fucking
Uber.
call an Uber, you daft cunt.
Yeah. Can't edit that out. We're live nowadays. That just goes straight up. Can I quickly address something?
Yeah.
Obviously, this isn't really news, but if you our VODs go to YouTube where they live forever, apart from they didn't, because last week's episode got deleted by.
That's my fault. I know about the Olympics.
I didn't know about that.
Pretty strenuous with copyright.
The International Olympic Committee, the IOC, took down our last podcast. So I'm working on it because I think I can just re-upload it and it will just cut out all of those bits. But that might be a lot of the podcast, considering it was almost the entire conversation.
We spoke about it a lot.
There we go. But we haven't shown any this week.
That's
and
why
also
I was struggling
they
to
suck.
find clips of certain stuff that I wanted to show as well, because it's
I
like
know.
they don't exist.
You should have just drawn it or something.
Yeah.
There we go. Any more news?
No, that's it. That is every single bit of news.
Okay. I love it. It was good news, though. Good news. Good little section there. Should we listen to submissions? Should we listen to a song? What should we do? What do you want?
Well, if we listen to another song, have we got other stuff to talk about?
Not really.
Let's go with submissions, baby.
Okay. I've actually got a weird one here. It's from a band called The Echoes.
Mm-hmm.
They're
What was that?
local. The Echoes.
Yep.
Oh, I wanted you to say The Echoes. And I'll be like, yep, The Echoes. Good stuff. they submitted a live video of them performing. So this is it's almost like an exclusive. This is gonna be a live show, really, but it's a recording. I'll skip it forward a little bit, so it'll start and then I'll skip it forward. But this is the echoes. Oh, my mic was muted. What a rookie. Oh, his mic's muted too. No, what is this? Amateur hour?
That was good.
Torts?
Yeah, I think it was good. It was good. I mean, obviously, there's a certain sort of like limitation as to what you can do when you're filming in a small venue like that from a static sort of mic. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to sort of get the entire sort of feeling of it, but it sounded good.
I thought it showed that they had a great sound.
Yeah.
They had good performance.
Yeah, they looked good on stage as well. Good stage.
It's a good video. For this context, it's a weird video, right? Because we're used to listening to like the final product from a studio. But it's fine that it wasn't, because it kind of, for me, I would listen to that and go, actually, if you sent that to festival bookers and things, they would probably be like, cool, these guys can perform really well and it'll get you booked. It's I think quite a good idea. We always talk about how important music videos are now. I don't think they're that important, but maybe
honestly, yeah.
Maybe this is more important, like an actual good live video.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that would be the only next step, would be to try and record it a little bit better in terms of audio.
Yeah, for sure. It's very echoey. There's a lot of space between the instruments, which happens. A lot of the times it happens at gigs where you turn in and you plug into their amps and you just create a sound. We've played gigs before in those big open spaces as well, where it's just bouncing all over the place.
You don't know what the venue's like and stuff, and it can either be too small and cramped, or it can be too big. Like, we've played in places that have got like 50-foot ceilings, and it's like, what the hell is this?
I know exactly what you're on about, and that place fucking sucks. But also, that was a whole different thing. I think we recorded a podcast like 2 days after playing that gig, and the whole podcast was just being like, that place fucking sucks. We obviously didn't say where, but it was bad. But yeah, awesome. And they seem quite young, so you're doing the right thing. Keep doing that.
Do we not seem quite young?
We do not. No. No, unfortunately not now. We're basically middle-aged.
Sat here with visible grey in my bed.
Oh, I can't see it. Don't point it out. You're going to get people looking upstairs now if we make comments like that. Another band here is, I like to call them Nilo Crooks, because that's what their name is. So this is Nilo Crooks.
I stare at the mirror, feeling like there's a stranger there. Why do I stay awake when I'm so tired of our life that I began to hate? When I want more than what I ever had, more than friends and fam could even realize. Echoes of a crying pain spill out from a failed artist portrait, who wanted more than what has ever been, more than destiny or any guy could give. Could there be more than just this? The stories I read as a kid, but they disappeared and got rid of me.
I forgot. I forgot that I was supposed to come out after a minute. I was just listening to it. It's really cool. He's muted.
I gotta stop doing that, eh?
I'm not gonna lie. You have to, because I almost called you a word there that would get us banned on both
From
platforms.
someone that literally lives on Microsoft Teams, you know what I mean? It's like I should not be muted as often as I am.
That's the saddest sentence I've ever heard, by the way. But yeah, they were amazing.
It's actually
They were from. Do you want to guess the country they're from?
Zimbabwe.
Close.
Really? Chad.
No, it's not. It wasn't close. It wasn't close. Please stop. Please stop guessing African countries. But if you were to guess South African countries, you would say
Portugal. Wait, in my head it's because
Portugal.
all of the left side of South Africa speak Portuguese, or no, the right side. Anyway,
They do. I think that was invasions. B.
Huh? Yeah. We're not the only people that did it.
Colonizing.
Chile.
No.
No. Brazil.
No.
Paraguay.
This might take a while. No.
Bolivia.
about this?
Colombia. Venezuela.
No.
No. I think I'm out.
I'm certain.
Argentina.
Argentina. They're from Argentina. There we go. Well, you almost gave up as well. You said Venezuela before Argentina.
Yeah, I don't know why Venezuela came into my head first.
I don't know what the relevance is, but Nilo Crooks, really cool sound. I love it. It sounded very indie, like British indie pop. And then there was a little twang in his voice. So I was like, oh, I need to check where he's from, because I think he was, I knew he wasn't from England.
Nice.
Back to the studio.
I don't know, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay, last submission then. This is a band that go by Young Supernovas. They're from Lincoln. New England.
Up the road.
New England.
And across the water.
Over the water. Up the road. They're in Lincoln. Yeah. Do you want to guess a genre? We don't do that anymore because the format doesn't really work. But guess genre. Young Supernovas.
It sounds indie.
It sounds indie. Is it going to sound like Oasis? But that's obviously Champagne Supernova, Young Supernovas. Here we go. This is them.
I was 19 and you were 20. Neither of us had a whole lot of money. I was 19 and you were 20. I wish it had worked out between us, honey. I was a freshman and you a sophomore. I saw you after class and I grabbed your hand. Finding ourselves at a vantage point, we lay in the grass and I rolled you a joint. With the city below us and the lights above, I discovered you were thinking what I was thinking of. It had already been a little bit of a hike. I don't think I was ready to know what that felt like.
Is he muted?
I'm unmuted. Why have you...
Okay. I made you big.
I'm not going to lie. That started off a bit weird.
It started off really weird, didn't it? I think you actually laughed audibly and then you muted yourself.
That's not a good look.
No, that's fine.
But it did get better, though. It started off a bit weird, and it was a bit too weird.
Sometimes.
But then maybe in the context of the whole song, maybe it's not that weird. But it just sounded... It caught me off guard. But it did get better.
Can I say something? So when people... I don't want to be disrespectful, but when people start writing songs for the first time, right, they sometimes will write lyrics and then they'll sing them into a song and it doesn't work because they don't flow properly. And that was the biggest issue for me, was that it was like these lyrics where it felt like I could hear that they were written on a bit of paper, and he's like, okay, play some music, and then he was singing them and all of the phrasing was off. So it didn't flow like, I think the lyrics were written in a way where it should have been a storytelling song, But if that's the case, you need it to flow as if you're just at a table telling a story instead of it feeling really clunky and forced.
And I would say, like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's lots of people out there that write music like that. They write lyrics first and then put music to it. But I would hedge a guess that the majority of people that write music write the music first and then put lyrics to it. Because it's normally an easier part of the process. Is you think of a jingle or something sticks in your head and you're like, I like that. That's a good hook, or or oh, that could be really good as a chorus, and then you start putting this song together. And I would say normally you have the instrumental song laid out first before you sort of think about lyrics. But
100%.
it doesn't. It's not all that. Like, again, there'll be plenty of people that say otherwise, but it did feel like it was more struggle to sort of make the music fit the lyrics rather than the lyrics fit the music.
It was clunky. It was really clunky for sure. It felt silly, and I think the lyrics weren't supposed to be silly, but I think that was because of the rhythm being so clunky and a bit awkward, for sure. One thing that it actually brought me to before we end today is that this channel, the IAAS.tv channel, we're going to start hosting more content, and we'll bring other people in as well to host content. And one of the things that we're going to have is a more in-depth look at some of the songwriting behind the indie artists. So we play loads of indie artists on this show. If you've been with us for a long time, you'll know people like Danny Rivas, Sophie Jana, all of these amazing artists that we play. We're actually going to get people like that on a new show that'll be hosted by someone else. Where we'll talk about
someone good.
Someone good. Someone who can actually host shows and is a brilliant musician as well. But yeah, we'll have that, and that will go live, I think, in the next few weeks we're looking at, possibly. So you'll be able to listen to that and listen to different musicians talk about, do they write the lyrics first? Do they write the song first? How do they construct something? I think it'll be really interesting. I'm looking forward to it a lot. And then there's other shows that are going to be starting as well. So if you listened to this and you enjoy what we're doing for whatever reason, get your head checked, but also drop a follow or a subscribe or whatever channel you're on. If you follow us, we'll be going live more and more frequently. And it will all be music focused. So whether it'll be like an open mic thing where you can come and sing songs for whoever's hosting, or this weekly show where we listen to your submissions. Do you have anything else? Little summary. I think we should end on a song. But like a song. You're going to sing it. You know exactly which one. Here he goes.
Hey.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, please.
I don't know what was going to come out, me.
No, what do you think it would have been?
I can tell you what I was about to sing.
What are you about to sing?
The Black Hills of Dakota.
Oh, okay. I for some reason recently, whenever I need to sing on the spot, it's always the American national anthem. I don't know why.
Just like, oh, say, can you see? I was waiting for you to like fade out. Now I'm just singing.
No, I wanted the whole thing. This is a song we end on.
Rockets red blood, the bombs bursting.
I'm so sorry, Americans.
Gave through the night, but a flag was still there. Oh, stay down, star-spangled banner yet wave. The land of the free and the home of the brave. Hey, that's a hell of a lot better than most of those skanks that did it previously.
Honestly, I was about to say, you should fly over there, because that was better than most people. I don't know what we do from that. It's quite a tricky spot you put us in.
Hey, you put me in the spot, man.
Let's listen to a song, right? This is someone who is going to be joining the IAAS team and creating content with us. I'm sweating. I have a sweat on, and I think it was your national anthem performance. But yeah.
See what's going on over here, B.
I'm okay.
balls are stuck to my thighs.
Okay. Oh, well, now I can't segue into a song, can I?
Yeah,
That's
it's fine.
insane. Right. Thanks, everyone that listens. As I said, drop a follow to the channel. We love you a lot. Actually, I love you a little bit. This is Nicole Allen, who you know from... Did she win? Did she win Female Artist of the Year?
Yeah. Why
She's
not?
nominated. Yeah, she did. Female Artist of the Year. She played at my wedding. Brought a tear to my eye. This is Nicole Allen with Should Have Known Better. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Caught up in dreams. Reality can kiss my. Oh, I care about tomorrow. When today ain't done with me yet. Well, I got hours on my side, and I know I got plenty of time to mess up today before tomorrow's sun comes up. Well, I should've known better than to dance with the devil and kiss him on the way back up. Oh, I should've known better than to pray to the Lord when the whiskey's on the way back up. So here's to today before tomorrow's sun comes up. Waking up will never felt harder as I hold my head and the room's running circles around me. Gonna walk into every room with my big hair and cowboy boots. Gonna mess up today before tomorrow's sun comes up. Oh, I should've known better than to dance with the devil and kiss him on the way back up. Oh, I should've known better than to pray to the Lord when the whiskey's on the way back up. So here's to today before tomorrow's sun comes up. So here's to today before tomorrow's sun comes up. Never coming up, never coming up, never coming up, never coming up, never coming up. Tomorrow's sun's never gonna come back up. Oh, no, never coming up, never coming up, never coming up, never coming up, never coming up. Tomorrow's sun's never gonna come back up. Oh, I should've known better than to dance with the devil and kiss him on the way back up. Oh, I should've known better than to pray to the Lord when the whiskey's on the way back up. Oh, I should've known better than to dance with the devil and kiss him on the way back up. Oh, I should've known better than to pray to the Lord when the whiskey's on the way back up. So here's to today before tomorrow's sun comes up. So here's to today before tomorrow's sun comes up. So here's to today before tomorrow's sun comes up. So here's to today before tomorrow's sun comes up.